Today, I'm going to show you how to make an angel food cake at home, no box needed, and you're going to be impressed because it tastes way better than the box stuff. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com. We're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget and also to eat delicious food. Now, angel food cake is great. I love angel food cake. In fact, I serve it all the time in the summertime with some whipped cream and some berries. I love it and I'm obsessed with it. However, if you go to the store and you buy some, it's not very good. And if you buy the mix, it's pretty good. But if you actually make it from scratch, it's amazing. And if you don't like angel food cake, you're gonna love this because it's packed with flavor and it's light and airy and it's a perfect dessert. Now, you can find the full recipe linked in the description, as well as all the tools that I'm using, because I have an angel food cake that I just bought because mine was over 20 years old. I can't believe I just said that out loud. And it's so cool and it's perfect for when you need to flip it upside down, but I'll show you that. But everything we're using, I've got it linked for you. First, you're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Also, before your oven gets hot, make sure you have the rack on the lowest setting. And you can remove this, or I'm just gonna put it at the top. But this is where we're gonna bake our cake. Now we're gonna need a food processor or even like a blender. I prefer a food processor for this, and sugar. Don't judge my giant sugar container. My other one broke, and so I just had this one laying around, but apparently we use it because it's full. So we're gonna do 1 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. And I don't pack it in, you just kind of scoop it and slide it off. Let's move this out of the way. Then we're going to add the lid, and mine actually broke. I can't believe that I am doing this. You guys don't judge me, you know it's real life here. But I don't have my top, so I'm just gonna cover it with my hand. But we are going to grind this, mix it up, food process it, whatever the word is I'm looking for, until it's nice and airy. And this is really important because it grinds it up more and makes it really airy, so that way your angel food cake isn't dense. You want to food process it until it is nice and fine. Let me show you up close so you can tell the difference. But it's much finer than your traditional sugar, and it's really worth just taking this one little step for it. I just want to show you up close and personal. It's much more fine and a little bit powderier, and that's going to make that angel food cakes taste amazing. Now we're going to remove 1 cup of that pulse flour from the food processor and then leave the remaining in there. I'm going to do this over a bowl in case I spill it. I'm gonna just dump that in there so I can save that for later and leave the remaining sugar in here. Next, you're gonna need cake flour. This is not all-purpose flour, but you're gonna find it in the same section at your grocery store as all-purpose flour. This is the brand I'm using. There's a couple brands, not a lot, but it's usually in a box form. And then it just has the plastic inside. So we need to add a cup of this as well. So what I'm doing is just like I do regular flour, I scooped it up pretty big, and then I'm gonna use my finger or a knife and just level off the top. So you're not packing it in. If you pack it in, you're not gonna have a fluffy cake. And that kind of goes for everything that you make baking wise. Let's move this out of the way. Then we're gonna pulse this again. Now you just pulse that quickly until it's well blended. All you're doing is getting everything blended together. And since this is very important with the airiness, we want to make sure it gets nice and blended before we combine it with the rest of the ingredients. Now I'm going to move this to the side because we're going to use that in a little bit, and bust out your hand mixer or your stand mixer. I am using my KitchenAid stand mixer that I have had now for 18 years because I got it for a gift the Christmas that my twins were born, and they just turned, well, 18. They're going to be 19. That's rude. But anyway, So it's lasted forever. So I know it's an expensive purchase, but 100% worth it, especially if you can wait until Black Friday deals. But you can also use, I'm just making sure nothing's in my bowl because, you know, life. But you can also use a hand mixer. You're just going to be holding it for quite a while. Now, what we're going to need is 12 eggs, room temperature. So I've left these eggs, just let them sit on the counter. I can get these open. And we're going to do egg whites. If you wanted to use pre-bought egg whites and measure them out to equal 12 eggs, you can. I prefer to do the whole eggs, but I know eggs are not the cheapest right now. So when I do my egg whites, I crack it and then I just toss it back and forth between the shell, letting the egg white drop. Now, if you have a better system, I know there are, I'm just throwing this into my sink. I know there are little gadgets to separate your egg whites, but I've never found that any of them work better than just my old-fashioned system that my mom taught me of going back and forth a few times and letting that white just drip right off and the yolk stays in. So if you have a better solution, drop it below. I want to know. So you're just going to crack it in half. Let that egg white just fall over. As you toss it, keep it on the side and see how this egg white is just dripping down. If it needs help, you can pull it. And then that's how I do the egg whites. Now, a little tip, if you drop a shell in there or maybe a little bit of yolk gets in, use your shell to actually scoop it out and it will come right out. Like I just scooped up my yolk and then I just kind of tilted it to let the excess egg white get in there. And then you're ready to mix it up. Now we're going to add this to get mixed up or whipped up. You want to use your whisk attachment. If you have a hand mixer, use the whisk attachment if you can. If you can't, that's okay. It'll still work. It just might take a little bit longer. But we're going to whisk this up on medium to medium high for about 1 minute until these get nice and fluffy. Oh, I got to plug it in. Yeah, you know you're watching Carrie if she forgets to plug everything in. So we're going to let this whip for about 1 minute. I wanted to show you. See, they get light and like foamy on top. And that's what I want to make sure you have before you go to the next step. So again, I timed it. It took exactly 1 minute. And it looks beautiful, but I want to make sure that it gets to looking like this before you go to the next step. I totally goofed and forgot to add the cream of tartar. So we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon or 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And you're going to whisk this in with the eggs. Doing it right now is not going to, kill anything because we're going to be whisking this a lot. So I'm just going to mix this together real quick. And then we're going to move on to the next step. Now that that's mixed in, you're going to reduce your speed to about medium, and we're going to slowly add in that 1 cup of sugar that we removed from the food processor. Remember, the food processor is still back there. And we're going to let it mix in. Okay, I got it all mixed in. Now we're going to turn this back up to about medium, and we're going to let it beat for 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes until, let me turn this off so you guys can hear me really well. But we're going to let this beat for 5 to 6 minutes until soft peaks form. And I'm going to show you what that means, but what it looks like. But what it actually means is that it's going to, like when you lift up your cake batter, the batter, I say cake batter, but this mixture, egg white mixture, it will pop up with it. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll see you in a few minutes. It's been 5 minutes and it's looking great. Oh, if I can get this off. There we go. I got to use my brains. But as you can see, when I pull it up, little mountains happen. And that's exactly what you want it to do. I'll show you up close in just a second. But we're going to, we're going to mix in our vanilla extract, and then we're going to fold in those ingredients over here, and we're almost done. See, guys, it's actually so easy, especially if you have a stand mixer, because you could just walk away and then come back. Ooh, I'm so excited. I want to show you up close, but when you lift it up, see how it looks like a little mountain, a little peak? That's what it means by soft peaks. So if it doesn't come up, then you need to just mix it a little bit longer until this happens. Now I'm just going to pop this back on. I just took it off to show you. And then we're going to throw in some vanilla extract, about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So it's really easy to remember because it's the same as the cream of tartar. And then I'm just going to mix this up together. Now my mixer is the kind of the fancier one that goes up and down, which is great because like I said, it's lasted for years. The only bad part is this doesn't fit like on your counter under here. It won't fit under a cabinet because it's so big, which for me is fine. I just have to pull it out. The other ones where they just lift up, they are cheaper and they will fit under your cabinets. Why can't I use words today? But either one will work and they both will last a long, long, long time. We're going to now remove this from the mixer and we are done with the mixer. And now we're going to fold in the rest of the ingredients. Fold it in, David. Name that show. Now we're going to get that food processor ingredients and we're going to fold it in about 1/4 cup at a time. Just eye it. The point is you just want a little bit at a time. Now folding it in means you literally just like fold it. So what you're doing is you're going around the sides and you fold it in. Now I feel like I'm on the TV show. Just fold it in. You go around the sides and you whop it over. So it's like you're literally like folding the stuff instead of just like briskly whisking it, because you want to keep that nice and airy. So we don't want it to become dense. So we're just wanting to slowly mix it in. We're going to continue to do this until all of it is mixed in together. I just want to give you close up. So I'm just adding a little bit in. Now folding, instead of just going really fast, we're going to literally pull and push to fold it instead of just whipping it up really quickly with a spoon like the stand mixer did. If I can talk today, and see how it gets gently put in there. And that allows that air to stay in, which is what we need for an angel food cake. I've gotten it all folded in and now we're ready to bake. Now you're going to need a tube pan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have it linked for you as well. But a tube pan is a pan and this is the tube and it goes right on top. You do not want to use a bundt pan. If you do, it's going to go crazy everywhere. So what is so great about this is we want to cool this upside down. And back in the olden days, Carrie would just put it on top of like an oil container or balsamic vinegar container. But this handy dandy one is made and it holds it up so air can circulate on the bottom and it lifts it up, and I'm obsessed. Now, and I have this linked for you guys. Don't worry, you know I got you. And it's affordable, so you know I really got you. Now we're going to put this in the pan. You do not grease the pan. That's very important. We're just going to pour this around. Doesn't have to be perfect, so don't panic. You don't want to like press it in. Does that make sense? You don't, because remember we want it light and airy and fluffy. That's the whole point of an angel food cake. Pass this around. Okay, I got it in there. Note to self or warning to you, don't start licking the spatula because you won't be able to stop. And don't judge me, it's good. Now, the last thing we want to do before we put it in the oven is tap it on the counter. What we're doing is allowing those big air bubbles, since it wouldn't push in nicely, just to come to the top so you don't have huge air bubbles in your angel food cake. So a quick tap, and then off to the oven we go. Now we're going to place this in the oven, remember, bottom rack, for 35 to 40 minutes. I wanted to show you what it looks like. It's been cooking. You'll see it still springs back. And now we just have to let this cool. Now you don't want to let it cool off sitting like this. We want to do it upside down. And the reason we do that is because then gravity pulls the center part down while it's cooling, allowing more air into it. And that is why I love this pan, because it has these little notches, so that way it keeps it lifted and you can let air come underneath it, and you're gonna let it cool. Now you wanna let it cool completely before you serve it. Blah, 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 I can't talk. What you want to do is, this will usually take an hour or two to completely cool. So that's why I always like to make angel food cake either the morning of or the day before and just allow it to cool. But I'm going to clean up, get some work done, and then I'll be back to show you this tasty angel food cake. It's been cooling for a while, so all you have left to do is you're going to take a butter knife. You don't need a sharp knife. And the reason I'd say don't do a sharp knife is because if you're doing a non-stick pan, you don't want to scratch it, or try not to. So we're just going to run that knife down the sides all the way around to try to loosen it, just any of the parts that might have gotten stuck. So I'm going to go all the way around the outside first, and then we want to go around the inside. I just want to show you, see how it kind of overlaps a little bit? I just run it in there and gently kind of cut on the edges, just right next to the side, just to loosen it from the pan. And you want to go all the way around. Now, once you get to the middle, then you want to do the exact same thing, but you're going all the way around that edge, just to loosen it up so it'll come right out of the pan. Now that that's done, it's time to get it out of the pan. I'm going to use one of my favorite cake stands. The reason I love it, and I'll have it linked for you as well, is because it's a cake stand, but it also doubles when you flip the bottom over and put the top on top. It's a punch bowl. I've had this for 20 years now. More than 20 years, actually. 21 years. Still going strong. I love it because I've used it for punch and for cake and desserts. I'll include a link for you as well, or one similar. Okay. Now it's time to remove it from the pan. Now that I have loosened it up, let me just make sure I get all the way down. Sometimes I don't go all the way down to the bottom. And we're going to flip it out and turn it on the ends, because this is technically the bottom of an angel food cake. And you're going to push the bottom down to lift this right off. Woo, woo, woo. Then I take the knife and I just kind of run it through the top. Same thing, just to loosen it, just so it won't pull chunks off if it were to get stuck. Oh, it looks so good. Woo! She's pretty. Now it's time for the fun part, decorating. Now, angel food cake is delicious with like a buttercream icing on top. It also is amazing with like Cool Whip or whipped cream and fresh berries. Today, I'm going to do fresh berries and some powdered sugar on top. This is a super simple way. It's very light and refreshing, which is perfect if you're gonna make this in the warmer months, but honestly, it's delicious year round. And even in the cooler months, you can even do like a strawberry sauce on top using frozen strawberries. So good. We have all those recipes for you as well. So I just quartered some strawberries and I put some on the sides and just randomly on top. It's great because I have this little piece here that got pulled out. So I just put a couple strawberries on top and that covered that right up. Then we're going to have some blueberries that I'm just going to place around. So literally decorating it is just putting some fresh fruit on top. Any kind will work. Today I just did strawberries and blueberries, but blackberries, bananas, raspberries, all of those would be delicious too. And then last but not least, the powdered sugar. I got these cute powdered sugar shakers on Amazon. I'm going to link them for you. I think it was like $10 for two, and one's for powdered sugar and the other one is for cinnamon and sugar. Love it. And I'm super excited because I've been just doing it like through a sifter for a long time. So this is just a lot easier and super handy. But look how it just comes to life and makes it look so much fancier with like a little dusting. And now that I'm looking at this, This is funny. It's kind of have red, white, and blue, so it'd be great for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Okay. Now we just have to eat, friends. Now, to cut into it and to dig in, there is a secret. You want to use a bread knife. See how it has the big bumpies on it? If you use a regular knife, it's going to smash it down because remember, it's spongy and light. It's not like a regular cake. So you're going to want to use a bread knife, and then you're going to want to cut it in a sawing motion. Don't push down. It's very gently. It's almost like you let gravity do the work. And it goes right through without pushing it down. So see, I got the knife. Remember the serrated edges, just get nice and close. And you're going to, like, I don't even have to hold on to it. And you barely, just keep sewing it and you barely push it. I mean, hardly at all. Let gravity do the work. And you get this beautiful cake that has not been smashed. And it's light and fluffy. It's so easy to cut. I know some people have always had problems with that. I'm going to lay it on its side over here. Uh-oh, I lost a blueberry. Gonna have to add another blueberry. Now again, you can serve it with some whipped cream or Cool Whip too. That's delicious as well. I have this pesky fly flying around that's making me mad, so we're gonna cover it. But look how pretty it looks in the cake stand. Oh, okay. Now it's my favorite part. Let's give it a try. Is the angel food cake good? It's so good. Sorry, I took too big of a bite. It is so much sweeter and tastier than traditional. I mean, if you're buying this at the store, you're going to be disappointed after you've had this. If you love it at the store, you're going to be disappointed after you make it. And even the box stuff that you make and you just like add water, so much more flavor, friends. And as you can see, it wasn't very hard at all. It's just a matter of mixing things in a bowl, throwing them in the pan, and letting it cool. That's how easy angel food cake is to make. Okay, friends, I have to go eat this cake because you don't want to watch me devour it anymore. But let's be real, I'm going to devour this cake. It's so good. And it's the perfect for all my hard work today. It wasn't that hard. But friends, remember, you can grab the full recipe. I've got it linked for you below. You can always go to eatingonadime.com and search angel food cake. It's going to pull right up for you. But once you make it, come back and leave us a star review. So what that means is you can click whether it's 1 star, 2 star, and we always strive for 5 star, or whatever you think the recipe deserves, and leave a comment. And that helps other people know. Just like if you're shopping online, it helps people know if this recipe worked out and if they love it. And with the ramp up of AI and fake recipes, I feel like that's really important right now. So make sure you head there and drop a review. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any more of our easy, family-friendly recipes. Friends, go make some angel food cake, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen for another family-friendly recipe. Bye, friends.